Alrighty, people, what's happening? One more game for week number 6, and then we will transition into week 7, into that mind space. Already got the waiver video up, so definitely go check that out when you have a free chance or after Monday Night Football. We appreciate y'all for being here with us. Go ahead and do us a favor and hit that like button as today's stream begins. Got a like goal of 50 likes on today's stream. With your help, I know we can get there. All right, here's the deal. Oh, James Cook. Wow. James Cook was just ruled inactive. Okay. This is very important, people. James Cook was just ruled inactive. If you have James Cook, you need to go grab Ray Davis or Ty Johnson. You need to grab one of those names because you will be without James Cook. This is not like fully surprising because he didn't practice most of the week, but there was this report out this week that he planned on playing. So I'd say it's a bit of a surprise. So look, if you don't have Ray Davis right now or Ty Johnson, go pick those names up because you will not be able to start James Cook. I appreciate y'all for being here with me. Like I said, hit that like button. Got a like goal of 50 today. And here's how today's stream is going to work, okay? Let me make it very, very clear so we're all on the same page. So if you want your question answered, there's a couple ways to go about doing so. The first way is by asking a question via our website. Okay, so if you don't know, you can ask a question on the website, and every time we stream, at the very beginning of the stream, any questions on the website are the ones that will be prioritized straight away. And the great thing about this website is that you don't need to drop a super chat if you plan on donating and then wait around and see when your question is going to be answered. At literally every time we answer a question, it gets sent to you with a time code that you can watch directly. So let's say for Kyle here, who's first up, we're going to answer his question. A time code will be sent to him, and he'll be able to watch it at his leisure. So definitely check out the link in the chat. And if you don't have an account yet, use the promo code LAND to create a free account, and you'll get a bunch of free features like the expert consensus rankings, the trade calculator, the My Teams feature. All right, so these are all great features that you can get for free just by creating an account. You can link your leagues if you have Sleeper, ESPN, Yahoo, etc. But let's go ahead and start today's stream with these flock questions. And like I said, I'll do my absolute best to get to everybody's questions, all right? So if you're dropping a normal question, I'll do my best to get to that. If you drop in a super chat, I'll get my best to get to that. But just know that the questions through the website are the ones that get prioritized first, okay? All right, so this is Kyle Clax. And it's a super message, and he says, number 1 wide receiver room, CD, Nico, London Downs. Drop Polk for Leggett or Pop on waivers. Okay, so you want to drop Polk or Leggett for Pop Douglas. And I'm still worried about Leggett that they're going to potentially bring back Bryce Young at some point, but if you can drop Polk and get Pop for free, I think that's probably a smart move. Clearly, he's an integral part of this offense. He's had 9 targets in 3 of the last 4 games. So he's definitely a name that they're going to continue to focus on moving forward. And it's obvious that, Drake May has a lot of trust in him as well. So if you can drop Polk, I would do that, but only if it's for free. Like, I'm not going to spend fab to make a move like this. I'll just hold Polk and see what he can turn into, because I still think he's going to be very good. As I sip some tea. So that would be my official answer for you there. All right. Next question here is from Gerard Rizard. Okay. And it's a start-sit question. They said, I'm about to drop to 2 and 4 and need to turn things around. I like my team, but can't catch a break. You're not alone, man. I'm sure there's plenty of people in the chat right now, plenty of people who will watch this later on who feel the same way, that they just can't catch a break. Their team is good and they're putting up points, but they're just barely getting beat out for whatever situation or injuries have hurt them. So you're not alone. This is a One quarterback, 10 teams, start 9. It's a half PPR league. I mean, you have Joe Mixon. He went off last week. So did Jordan Love. Amon-Ra obviously didn't. So obviously you got unlucky last week because Marvin Harrison and Malik Neighbors both were duds. And Brian Thomas. So yeah, you got unlucky last week. But at quarterback, Jordan Love is a great start. You know, if we look at week 7, he plays the Texans. That should be a high-scoring game. At running back, you haven't given me any other options. So all you've done is pretty much pasted your starting lineup, my friend, and you've given me no alternates to choose from when you submitted this question. So I don't know who else is on your team. When you're submitting the question, guys, let's walk through that together. So start sit question, for example, I would suggest linking your league. It will automatically submit your settings. And then when you come here, you can say, all right, I locked in. I know I'm going to play Lamar Jackson, right? I don't need help with that. But at quarterback 2, for example, I'm considering Trevor Lawrence and Andy Dalton. And then when you send this to us, it'll show us all the options that you've got on your team, right? Hopefully that makes sense. So I don't have in front of me the options that you're considering, unfortunately. But hopefully that makes sense. Let me see. Yeah, I have no way of knowing who your other names are. If you're in YouTube, if you're in the YouTube chat, let me know. Just say, hey, I'm Gerard. These are my other options. All right. So this is a team review from Scissors. She says, starting 1-5 after some bad beats. And that looks like a Dynasty team review. So I think we should save that for a Dynasty stream, actually. All right. If you guys want your question prioritized, definitely check out the website. You can get a team review. All the options I'll show you here. Let's see. Just so you guys can see, this is not some crazy link that you're clicking. It's a secure link. It'll take you to a place where you can get a team review, a trade question, a start sit, or a super message if you like. All right. But let's have a look. We got some super chats over on the chat as well. Okay, so the first super chat for today is from Michael. What's up, Michael? Appreciate you, man. Let me get this chat on the screen for you guys to see. Okay. Michael says, traded Jacobs for London. My running backs are Hubbard, Kyren, Singletary, CMC, Pacheco, Allen, and Brooks. My wide receivers are Brian Thomas Jr., Waddle, Hill, JSN, and London. Drop Allen for Juju. Okay, so in your running back room, you've got Jonathan Brooks, you've got Chuba Hubbard. I mean, in an ideal world, those guys don't cancel each other out, right? In an ideal world, Jonathan Brooks, when he comes back, he becomes a starter, and then Chuba takes, like, the Miles Sanders role. But Chuba's playing really well. I mean, to be honest, Chuba's playing about as good as any running back in football right now. So that is a little scary that could become a full-on timeshare. But you got Kyren. That's fantastic. I mean, he's a top 5 running back rest of the way, most likely. Singletary is potentially going to lose his job. We'll have to wait and see. Pacheco's probably out for the year. CMC, when he's back, will be a must start every week. So it looks like CMC, they're saying early November. Early November, I think, is when they're expecting CMC back, but there's no promises at this point. But I think that running back room is pretty solid, to be honest. I wouldn't drop Braylon right now. I mean, let's see what happens on Monday Night Football. For example, what if Breece Hall goes down and you dropped Braylon? You know, obviously you're thinking about the waiver cycle, which will come up. But yeah, I would say let's be cautious of dropping Braylon right now. Wait for Monday Night Football. And then I would probably prefer to have Juju over Braylon long term. But if that meant that I could turn like JSN or Juju plus Chuba Hubbard into something reliable long term, or plus Braylon or Brooks into something reliable long term, I think you could really benefit from that. All right, appreciate you, man. We got Styles in the chat. What's happening, brother? Appreciate you for being here. All right, Mondo is the next super chat, guys. No obligation to donate at all today. I will answer as many questions as I can. But of course, if you do donate, that's a guaranteed reply. I think we're all on the same page there, right? So the next question is from Mondo. Looks like Kyler Murray, I'm guessing that's Aaron Jones, Jordan Mason, Jefferson, Tyreek, Kincaid, Reed, Hubbard. On the bench, you've got Allen, Brooks, Hunt, Lazard, Shakir, Wilson. Okay, so is that Kyler Murray and Josh Allen? Why would you have both those guys on the same team? If that's Kyler Murray and Josh Allen, that seems like overkill. That seems like overkill for the quarterback position. It's a 12-team tight end premium. Hopefully you didn't draft Kyler Murray and Josh Allen, because that would have definitely killed your draft if you put that much draft capital into 2 quarterbacks. But can you sell one of those names? Can you use... It could be Braylon Allen. That's fair. Maybe Mondo can clarify with us if that's Braylon Allen or Josh Allen. But if that's Josh Allen, we definitely should use him in a trade. Assuming it's Braylon Allen, you've got Brooks on the bench. You've got Kareem Hunt, Lazard, Shakir. And is that Roman Wilson or Garrett Wilson? I mean, remember, guys, when you're submitting questions, there's a lot of people with the same last name. I mean, for example, when someone says Jay Williams, it's like, who in the world could this be? That could be Javonte. That could be Jameson. So it's always funny. But all right, Kyler Murray, Aaron Jones, Jordan Mason. All right, well, the first thing I would do is try and package Jordan Mason with a different name to upgrade. For example, can I package Mason and, let's say, Braylon Allen? Is there potential to go get a more reliable running back moving forward? Can I package Jordan Mason and Lazard? Can I package Mason and Shakir? Ideally, you package Mason with someone else and get a name that you know is going to be the starter for the rest of the season. By the way, guys, some really, really funny things going on in the Flock League. I just want to give you a little insight real quick. So, is it okay if I give you a little insight into the Flock League? But Mondo, I definitely think Jordan Mason is a name you need to try and move off of. Everyone else I would hold. All right, so obviously we took care of business. We'll be the highest scorer of the week. We'll be 5 in a row. You know, we do what we do. But the reason I want to show you this league right now is because Badaki is in a really interesting situation. So Badaki right now is up is down 109 to 113 to Nathan. Badaki's RB2 was James Cook. Okay? His RB2 was James Cook. Where is James Cook? Here he is. Now, James Cook, surprise inactive. Definitely was not something that Badaki anticipated, right? Otherwise, he probably plays Madison. That's probably what he does. And then what happens is both Ray Davis and Ty Johnson are on waivers. And remember, Badaki is playing Nathan from Domain. So Nathan tries to cock block Badaki. He picks up Ty Johnson for $1. And then Badaki was already bidding on Ray Davis. He spends $5 and Nathan spends $2. And now Nathan is really upset because he would have spent as much money as he can to cock block Badaki to guarantee the win. And he thought he got Ray Davis. He didn't. It's absolute chaos right now in the Flock League. And I think Badaki is going to join us, actually. Are you here with us?
Yo.
Okay, hold on. Let me change your output.
Okay.
Output to headphones. All right. Can everybody hear Badaki? Go ahead, brother.
Yo, hello.
Okay, yeah, they should be able to hear you. So this is just a really funny situation in the Flock League. I just walked them through.
It's actually crazy, and I was listening to you walk them through, and I'll just give them like my 2 cents. I actually almost started Alexander Madison because I was like, oh, should I risk it? Sweet Baby Rays and Ty Johnson were already picked up at the time, and I was like, and then you get the report that James Cook is going to play.
Yeah,
And I
that
was like,
report
oh.
came out, right?
And then yeah, and I was like, all right, I'm chilling. I know he's going to play because I didn't have any other option outside of Alexander Madison and Justice Hill. And what does Madison do this week? Puts up 17 points. No one would have thought. But the fact that I got Ray Davis, and honestly, I woke up in the middle of the night at like I think 4 o'clock in the morning, and the first thing I did because I need to go up to the bathroom, and the first thing I did was check waiver wires. And I checked to see if there was a report of James Cook playing or not.
That's actually hilarious.
And I put this waiver wire claim earlier, like before Sunday. I was like, I'm gonna just do this just in case. And the fact that I got it,
so you're starting
crazy,
Ray Davis tonight, and you need about 4 points.
Yeah, which is honestly not ideal. Like the chances of me losing is significantly high. Which is so frustrating, but anyways.
Yeah, this will be a really fun one throughout Monday Night Football.
I'm gonna be watching it.
All right. So we just answered. Oh, I've got the solo. Here we go.
No, that's
we just
fine.
answered a couple questions over here. I appreciate you, Mondo. Thanks for hanging out with us, my man. Guys, we do have a question through the website. We also have a team review sitting in there, Badaki, which we will get to.
Yeah.
I think maybe we should start doing one Dynasty stream a week. I'm not sure, but that might be a good idea. But let's have a look here from Hello Tez. Hello Tez says, trying to figure out who I should start between Tank Dell, Deontay Johnson, and Monty. I'm assuming this is a week 7 question. It's a start, sit, 1 quarterback, 10 team start 7. So quarterback is Joe Burrow. You've got Bijan and Kyron starting, Godwin and Tank Dell. And you're trying to decide between Dell, Deontay, and Monty, I'm assuming, in your flex. So Deontay, to me, is a must-start pretty much weekly.
Oh, they fixed it, by the way. Sorry. So random.
What?
They redid the order, which is great.
Oh, yeah, that is great. Okay, so Deontay plays the Commanders. That feels like a must-start to me. I know Tank Dell had a good game. Got to give props to you. He looked much better, but I think I am still going Deontay over Tank considering the matchup.
Yeah, it is very interesting. I love Tank Dell's usage, obviously without Nico Collins. Deontay, I think both of these guys should be started, which is tough. But yes, I will go Deontay versus the Commanders this week, and kind of imagine maybe Jair going up against probably Diggs or Tank, because actually Jair will most likely go against Tank because he'll be on the outside and Diggs will be in the slot there. So
yeah.
I'll probably rock there with you.
Yeah. If you guys haven't checked out our website, definitely go give it a look. It's an easy way to prioritize your question. And if you plan on donating on Super Chat, then that site is actually a much better experience for you. And YouTube doesn't take 30% of your donation away from us. So that would be our answer there. Hello, Tez. Appreciate you. You've been on the site for a while now supporting, and that's very, very kind. All right. Do us a favor, hit that like button. Like goal today is 50. With your help, I know we can do it. The next super chat that I can see is from Justine, and it says, half PPR. Should I play Cook tonight or go with Davis? Well, Cook is out.
But you know the answer now.
So this is going to be very helpful for you. And I think it's going to have to be Ray Davis. I mean, do you have a preference between Ty Johnson and Ray Davis today? Do we have any reports on that?
I honestly have and know absolutely nothing. I think both of these guys can play the same role, to be completely honest with you. Like, I liked Ray Davis coming out of college because not only he can run in between the tackles, but he can also catch the ball. But I'm just not sure how he's going to be utilized. I do believe Ty Johnson will be the pass catching back, where Ray Davis will be more the first and second down guy. It just really depends on what that's going to look like.
Yeah. If I was to take a stab at this, I would say Ray Davis is your first and second down back, and Ty Johnson is your third down pass catching specialist. But there's not an established enough role to know either way. And on the goal line, I think it will be Josh Allen. But yeah, I think whatever you have available to you, go pick them up now. If you have James Cook, don't wait. If Ray Davis is the one you have available, go pick him up. There's really no reason to have a strong opinion either way here, but if you have James Cook, then you're playing out of desperation now. Lethal Jake is the next donation here. Says up 7 and Cook is out. Should I still play Ty Johnson? Can't get Davis or just take the W? Don't think there's a world where he could get much negative. No, look, if you're up 7, I've never seen a player finish with -8 points in fantasy. I'm sure it's possible, but in my time, I've never seen it. Depending on your scoring, I guess, if people have like -10 points for a fumble or something crazy like that. But yeah, you can still start Ty Johnson, and you got to keep in mind that if you are in a tiebreaker for the playoffs at the end of the season, there's a scenario where the points for is going to be the tiebreaker, right? So let's say you're, tied, same record as someone, playoffs are going to start. The tiebreaker is probably going to be points for. So you want to still put up points if you can.
Yeah, I agree. Matthew, thank you so much for the super chat. He says 32 team. Oh my gosh, start 5 dynasty. My wife has Nico, Aaron Jones, Goddard, Evans, and Marvin. She sits at first place. Is she making it to the chip, or is she coming to the bottom with me at 0-6? I have 625. I mean, look, in a 32-man league, that's really hard to say. I would say if everyone was healthy, I would say yeah, sure. If Nico was playing all season, if Aaron Jones is going to be good for next week, because he had a bye this past week. Dallas Goedert also got injured this week. Sure, but it's just really hard to imagine anything like that happening.
So injuries are really important to like a 12-team team. Like if you have Nico Collins in a 12-team league and he goes down, that's uber important. But to have him in a 32-team dynasty league, your waivers will be completely bare, and to lose a name like that would be tough. But if she's in first place, then she has a great chance to let those names heal up. When Nico is healthy, when Aaron Jones is healthy, when Goddard is healthy, Marv will be, probably missing this week with a concussion. So I imagine she's going to take a couple losses here in the next couple weeks. But if she can even just stay at 500 and, stay in the playoff race until those names come back, I think she has a great shot. Dallas Goedert wouldn't be my preferred tight end. If I was her, I'd be trying to trade Goddard for a lot of other names. But yeah, definitely has a great chance, Matthew. I think she has a great shot if those guys get healthy.
Yeah.
Thanks for the donation.
That's a crazy lineup, so that's exciting.
It's a crazy league too.
Yeah, for sure. Bruce, how you doing? Thank you so much for the super chat. He says your thoughts on Juju as a full PPR flex. For me, I'm still going to play the wait and see approach. I don't have a real strong conviction on Juju. I know he had the one good game. I'm just really interested on how that's going to look like for the rest of the season. Is there going to be ups and downs, inconsistencies? I think that maybe there could be.
So let's play that out logistically, because he's asking as a flex. So this week, would you play Juju Smith-Schuster or Amari Cooper?
I would still go Amari.
Okay, how about Juju or Xavier Worthy?
I would go Xavier.
Okay, I'd probably lean Juju there. Juju or Kirk?
Gosh, that offense is terrible. I'll probably go Juju.
Same. How about Waddle?
With no Tua, Juju.
Yep, I agree. So I think that answers
depends on your options.
The question, as in depending on your options, depending on how big or small your league is. Juju's definitely a streamable name, but it's he's not like someone we would want to rely on this week in our lineups. But he's not the worst option, I mean, out in our home league this week, my team was decimated with injuries. It was disgusting. We were first place, I think. And I'll show you guys the lineup we had to put together. We started Kamani Vidal, not because we're smart, out of desperation. We started Ertz, Wicks, Slayton. And our bench, we had Kareem Hunt on bye, Jonathan Taylor out. We had Malik Neighbors out with a concussion, Ramondre Stevenson out with an injury, and Cooper Kupp out with an injury. So in this scenario, if I had Juju on this team, he'd be very, very interesting to me. I would be very, very happy to have him on my roster. All right, the next trade question is from Proofy, or the next super chat rather. Guys, if you want your questions prioritized, we'll be live streaming all the way up until kickoff. You can drop a super chat. You can also donate via the website. It's a great experience for you. There's no pressure to do so, no obligation. But of course, if people donate, we'll be looking at their questions first. And the next one's from Proofy. He says, "You are so lucky, mate. Right before the Falcons game, I flipped a coin to play Algier or Cook, and coin said Cook. Oh no.
Oh no.
So who's your options now, Proofy?
Yeah,
hopefully you're not stuck in a situation where Ray Davis and Ty Johnson are both rostered and you need points to win. That would be... He has 0 options. Oh my gosh.
I think
that's heartbreak.
Yeah, and that is heartbreak. And the only reason why I gambled with Cook was because I knew that I would have the options of picking up either Ty Johnson or Ray Davis once they were dropped. Because if I'm not mistaken, they would drop before Sunday night or before the Sunday games.
Yeah.
When in our league, in the Flock League, when that report came out that James Cook was going to play. And then everyone instantly dropped them. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to put a claim on either one just to make sure that I have a safety blanket. And I just lucked out, really. But if that didn't happen, I probably would have started Madison and I wouldn't be in this position regardless. Because I didn't have any other option.
Yeah. That sucks, Proofy, man. I'm sorry. He says, didn't expect 20 points from Algier. Yeah. That's unfortunate, dude. That is fantasy football, isn't it? I mean, if you guys remember, it seems like ancient history now, but if you remember back to week 1, remember the people who were excited to start CMC and were like, yeah, I mean, he's practicing limited. Everyone says he's good to go. And out of nowhere last minute, oh my gosh. And they would have thought he'd be back by now. We're in week 7 now.
Yeah, we're taking advantage of our time here, ladies and gentlemen, as always. Every single time, week 1 comes around, it's like, oh man, can't wait for it. We're in week 7. Thanksgiving is about to come around in literally like a month from now.
Literally.
And you're like, oh shit, like the season's about to end.
Yeah.
And then we all gonna miss football.
Enjoy every moment, guys. Enjoy every painful loss. Remember what it feels to feel. All right, next super chat here is from PM Chunk, who says, Dynasty PPR built to win this year, was offered Godwin for Jayden Reed straight up. Thoughts? I'll take Jayden Reed.
Yeah, I want Jayden Reed.
Yeah, I mean, love Godwin. He's not too old of an asset to have him build around, but Jayden Reed is a tier 2 receiver for me in Dynasty, a top 12 name locked and loaded. So I couldn't lose Jayden Reed there.
Yeah, and I would agree there. Sets, it says 12 team Superflex PPR Dynasty rebuild. Got offered Pearsall a 2025 early mid second and Kendre Miller for Godwin. Do I take it or not enough for Godwin? Pearsall a 25 early mid second and Kendre Miller. I think I would take Godwin.
Sorry, I just realized that in our home league 2 quarterback league that Elijah Burns has James Cook.
Is he losing?
He is losing to me, but I was probably going to beat him anyway. I wonder if I should go pick up Ray Davis here. Is Ray Davis available? He is available. Ooh, who could I drop to pick up Ray?
Sweet baby Rays. Sets. It is interesting. I would say I would want Chris Godwin. I'm not a big Kendre Miller guy, personally, so I just think that's kind of a dead asset in the water. And Alvin Kamara has been playing lights out. Do they extend him? I don't know. Maybe they give him another year, or maybe the 2-year contract extension, like a David Montgomery type of vibe. It may not be for all that money. And Ricky Pearsall, it's going to be really hard to envision him getting onto the field because they also extend Brandon Ayuk. They also extend Jawan Jennings. Deebo Samuel is still there. Obviously, some of these guys are going to have to move, but I'm just not sure when that is going to happen. I do believe Chris Godwin, even though he's on his last year of his contract, they should extend it. He's playing as if that he's going to be extended by this team.
He's playing like a top 5 receiver.
Yeah. So
I
just
actually was doing some research for a video last week. He has career highs in yards per route run. He has career highs in yak per reception. I mean, this is like, respectfully to Cooper Kupp, this is almost like a Walmart Cooper Kupp at this point with the way they're using him, with how reliable he is, with how good he is after the catch, at the catch point. I mean, Godwin is just so far this year, anything can change, but he's playing like a top 5, top 10 receiver. There's no reason for them to move on from him with Baker Mayfield being there long term.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously Mike Evans, I think, takes a friendly deal. What they're going to do with Rachaad White, he's still on his rookie contract. They have Bucky Irving, who's on his rookie contract. They have now Sean Tucker, who's still on his rookie contract. So, like, I don't think there's any money outside of the defense that they're going to have to spend on. And Chris Godwin, I think, is an easy guy to pay. So give me Chris Godwin over all those guys for me.
Yeah, and I still think Kendre Miller can be good. I mean, there's just no evidence right now of his involvement in the offense or what his future could look like. I feel like because of the injuries, it's just been tough to project that. But still younger than like 99% of the running backs in the NFL. Still younger than almost every one of the running backs that came into the draft this most recent year. Super young guy, super talented. So we'll have to wait and see what he can be. But Godwin is worth more than those two assets at this point. So
yeah,
I think we're on the same page there.
I agree.
All right. Let's have a look at some of these normal questions. If you guys want to prioritize your question, donations are an option. They're not an obligation. Otherwise, we'll go in order from the top to the bottom. And the first one in order I can see is from Patrick Mahomey, who says, I'm up 3 points. I have Allen left, and my opponent has Brees. Should I be worried? I'd give you the advantage with the quarterback. It's easier for a quarterback to score touchdowns than any other position.
Yeah, I agree.
Kevin says,
I completely agree.
14-man PPR league with both Reed and Lamar. Jordan Mason just got injured. So who do you think to target as my RB2? With a quarterback package for when CMC comes back, was thinking James Conner range or higher. I'm struggling to understand the actual question. Are we saying we want to package Jordan Mason? Okay, right. You don't have CMC. Well, I don't know what the rest of your team looks like.
Yeah, 14 with both Jaden and Lamar. Jordan Mason got injured. So who would you trade as an RB2 with a QB package?
Right. So I guess you're using Lamar and Mason. I think I'd rather hold on to Lamar here if you can, but I mean, he's a quarterback one right now in fantasy.
I think James Conner range or higher. Look, we could probably throw out names, but like I think at the end of the day, like Zach said, we would both want to hold Lamar. I mean, even Jaden Reed as well.
I feel like
there's no one here.
If you redid a fantasy draft, Lamar Jackson's going higher than James Conner. You know what I mean? Like, so that alone is not worth it to me. I think if you can get your hands on like a Jonathan Taylor, if you can wait for him to come back, an Achane, if you can wait for Tua to come back, I mean, Mixon might be hard, but a Kyren, like, I think that's the range you should be shooting for if you're going to be sending away Lamar.
Yeah, I'm there with you.
Jeff says, need one wide receiver. Who should I get off waivers? Downs, Dobbs, or Watkins? Who's Watkins?
I think maybe Watson.
Oh, okay. For me, this is Downs. I mean, the most liked comment on today's waiver wire video is that Josh Downs won't be good without Joe Flacco. And we've talked about that. But I think we have to keep in mind that what a waiver wire offers you is a chance at what could be. And I think oftentimes people view a waiver wire as if I know what these players will be. And I think that's where people get caught up and they don't make moves and they don't add a name like Josh Downs. I mean, I asked the question on today's video, how is Josh Downs available in over 50% of ESPN and Yahoo platforms? And I think the most common reply was, well, Anthony Richardson isn't going to be good for him. That could very well be the case, but you have a second-year player who produced as a rookie, who is playing better than any wide receiver on their team, right? Who 3 weeks in a row has been one of the best starts, is a wide receiver 4 in that span, and you can add him for free, and you're not going to because of Anthony Richardson. I get it. I would rather Flacco be there for the rest of the season too. But if that is available on my waiver wire and I can potentially add that name for free, and by the way, trade him in a package if I don't believe in him, why would you not, you know what I mean? Like, why would you not add that name? So Downs would
yeah,
be
I
my
definitely get
preference here.
I definitely get it, and I think with the options, I would still consider Downs, but it's not somebody that I'm picking up to start with Anthony Richardson. I think that's the hardest part because I do agree with the community, like, and I get what you're saying, how he can come in and be this guy, and he has been this guy, but that's just with a completely different quarterback play, and that's like saying it's literally night and day. It's basically what we've been saying about Deontay Johnson. It's like he was just so unstartable.
But you saw Bryce Young and Deontay Johnson play together. You did not see Anthony Richardson and Josh Downs play together. This is the disconnect between me and the audience right now.
And I think what we have seen is Michael Pittman and Anthony Richardson play together.
But this is the blanket option. This is the intermediate, short passes, get your offense going type of option.
And I understand that, but then the other side to that is like he can't complete a short pass. He can't complete a dump off.
Because he didn't have the best option in their offense to do that. I mean,
the best option in their offense is technically Michael Pittman, but I agree. Not in that role, but on the team is Michael Pittman. But I'm that's a whole different conversation.
This is the chicken or the egg type of conversation. But what I'm telling you is like draft capital, rookie year production, second year player, every check mark is there, and we're afraid to pick him up because of Anthony Richardson. Like, yeah, the likely outcome is Anthony Richardson's not good. He's not as good with Anthony Richardson, but I mean, it just feels like why would
what it sounds like guy? What it sounds like in the community is that they would rather have somebody with a more stable quarterback than Josh Downs, even though Josh Downs has been outproducing. Now, I disagree with that when it comes down to the options in this question.
Sure.
But when it comes down to other options, then I would highly consider those players, or depending on who they are, over Josh Downs. But yeah, that's my
so Downs is your option here, your preference.
Yeah. All right. I agree.
All right, we have a super chat here from Dominican Sharnigan, and I don't even think there's a question. I just think they're saying they're giving us a W. Yeah, I don't see a question. Do you see one?
W. I do not see one. I haven't.
No, but I think they're just showing some love.
Yeah.
You don't want anything from us? You just want to show us love? Wow. I mean, that's real love right there, right? No, we appreciate all of you. That's kind. Frank here says down 6 points. Start Shakir or Keon tonight.
So I'm going Shakir.
Yeah.
Yeah. Most likely, Sauce Gardner is going to be on Keon Coleman. The guy can't separate unless he has a big bomb type of touchdown in any sort of way, makes a spectacular catch. Yeah. But I think Shakir is a safety blanket. He's going to get him in movement. He's going to get them, some. I don't know. I just would rather prefer Shakir over Keon.
Yeah, it's like Josh Downs. Having Josh Downs. I'm joking.
It actually is like Josh Downs. Like that's a good comparison when you think about it.
Yeah, no, I think Shakir is the safer play, but you have to recognize that if anyone's telling you, Frank, that they know exactly how the Bills wide receiver room is going to look on a week-to-week basis, they're just bold-faced lying to you. This offense was so good in the Stephon Diggs era for receivers. It's been so disgusting since they changed offensive coordinators. K3 is the next donation here. No pressure to donate, guys, but we will be answering questions all the way up until kickoff. You can drop a super chat to prioritize your question. You can also ask one through the website. Definitely go check it out. I put a link there in the pinned comment. It'll take you to a site that looks like this. Where you see trade questions, start sit, super message, team reviews, and more. And if you don't have an account yet for free, definitely go do so. I'll put a link in the chat here for you guys. You can get a free account, okay? You can get free access to expert consensus rankings, the trade calculator, the team analyzer. You can sync your team up if you have Sleeper, ESPN, and Yahoo and see where we would rank your team amongst the rest of your league. But of course, there are so many ways to get your question answered. All right, the next super chat here is from K3. He says, down by 11, Braylon Allen and Ty Johnson. Head says Braylon Allen.
Brother, we're going to get this question wrong. There's no way we know what the right answer is here.
My head says Ty Johnson because of the unknown bag, right? I mean, to me, the Jets, yes, Braylon Allen will be used, but he won't be used ahead of Breece Hall. if you look at Braylon Allen's usage, it's there, but it's not like a reliable startable name really outside of 1 week. I mean, what is his goal? He's down by 11 points. My friend, Braylon has hit 11 points 1 time this year. 7 touches last week, 9 the week before. If you need 11 points, I can't guarantee you what's going to happen. I like the matchup for Buffalo, but why not take the unknown mixed bag of Ty Johnson, you know?
Yeah. I mean, if you want to go Ty or Braylon, sure, maybe you should flip a coin and really see it, but that's a little bit of maybe behind the scenes, or not behind the scenes, maybe a little bit more of a breakdown, the best breakdown we can probably give you for either of those two guys to start. We appreciate that super chat.
Yeah.
Civilized Sir, thank you so much. It says
this guy, when he drinks water, his pinky's up.
Pinky's up. 12-man PPR. He's 1-4. Traded Kyren, Waddle, Kincaid, and Tank for Garrett Wilson, Terry Bowers, and Chubb. Still have Bijan and Achane and Brian Thomas. What do you think? Kyren, Waddle, Kincaid, and Tank.
I like going from Kincaid to Bowers, and look, Kincaid could still be good, but it's not been anywhere near what we were promised or what we thought it would be. I mean, Kincaid has been so average. There's been 1 game you've been mildly happy. So to get Bowers, I think that feels great. But I don't know how I feel about losing Kyren, because Kyren just had his bye week. You're 1-4, right? You're 1-4. Kyren's already passed his bye, and you know what I mean? Like, that's a player that now you can start the rest of the year as you need wins. That is pretty much a guaranteed touchdown at this point.
I understand. I would agree. The one thing I don't like about what you got in that trade with Garrett Wilson, Terry, and Bowers is Nick Chubb. I think Nick Chubb is just somebody I want to avoid in this backfield. I know Jerome Ford gets injured, but this offense is not. I don't want a part of it. And with all due respect, Nick Chubb, he was great before, but like that was a serious injury. He hasn't played in over like a year and a half. It's gonna take time for him to get his feet underneath him, get hit. Think of it, even though Calvin Ridley wasn't injured, but we all like, oh, Calvin Ridley's gonna come in and play.
Well, to me, the better example here is Breece Hall, because Breece Hall came back from the ACL, and it took him like 3 or 4 weeks to really get going.
Yeah, but it was just like I guess a more severe injury, and there's so many other things, and I just don't want any part of Nick Chubb. And you're not in a position to have Nick Chubb. If you were 5-1, sure. See what happens.
Yeah, teams that need to win right now, Nick Chubb is not an ideal target. But I do really like the idea of getting Nick Chubb on your roster now, because you and I do see it slightly differently. Jerome Ford hasn't established himself at all. There's completely middling options. I feel like Chubb, as soon as he's ready to go, is like the guy. Like in 2 weeks from now, I think Nick Chubb is a top 20 play every week. So I do actually like the idea of getting Nick Chubb personally, but I hear where you're coming from too. I just hate losing Kyren, but it's not a bad look. It's an even trade. The fact that we keep talking about both sides, it's an even trade. It is.
Yeah, because obviously Terry is great. Wilson, if he picks up where he just left off, and new offensive coordinator, new play caller, new head coach. Terry is doing his thing.
Without looking, guess where Terry McLaurin is right now amongst wide receivers in fantasy points?
I'm pretty sure he's like a top 12 guy already.
He's a wide receiver 10.
There you go.
Can I ask you, rest of the season, would you rather have Terry or Brian Thomas?
Terry.
How about Terry or Marvin Harrison?
Terry.
Terry or Jaden Reed?
Jaden Reed.
Terry or Metcalf?
I would still want DK.
Yeah, it's close. That's the range for him now, though. Jane Daniels is a superstar. Who would have known? Who would have thunk it? Devon Hall with CD on bye from our wide receiver 2, Mooney or Downs. So it looks like Anthony Richardson is going to play. So if you have these kind of options, I think Mooney is your best play there. Still excited to see what Downs can be with A-Rich, but yes, the bar is lower. The expectations are lower for sure.
Da, 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 da. Yeah, give me Darnell Money Mooney against the Seahawks. I mean, should be a high-scoring game. We'll wait and see. But yes, we appreciate you.
Yeah.
Daniel Garcia. Don't see anything. Okay, at the bottom. It says Waddle and Achane for Conklin and Martin Harrison Jr. Waddle and Achane. For Conklin?
No way. Waddle and Achane by a mile.
That's disrespectful, man. Whoever sent that to you.
If someone sent you Conklin and Marvin Harrison Jr., like that is the amount of disrespectful that is insane. Conklin should be on the waiver wire. They just sent you a waiver wire player that no one should pick up. What the hell? That's so disrespectful. It's crazy. Dude, the Waddle and Achane side wins by a landslide. It's not even close.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that's hella disrespectful. Honestly, go ahead and send them to send this time code to whoever sent you that. I'll look them in the eyes right now. What are you doing? What the hell are you doing? The amount of disrespect that this is to this man, Daniel Garcia, a hard-working man in our community, and you're trying to rip him off like this? Disgusting. You should be ashamed of yourself. All right, Mr. Trace Cerro Cinco says, would you pick up Ray Davis or Ty Johnson? Man, I'd love it if we had like some more reports on this.
Yeah, no, it's probably going to happen right when... I mean, honestly, what I should be doing is listening to the game. Because they obviously know that, okay, next up is blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
I mean, to the pregame stuff.
Do we have any update on this? Has coaching said anything? I doubt they will. I doubt anything. It'll be reporters guessing.
It would be reporters guessing. I would have no idea. I'm just gonna base off talent. I love Ray Davis. I love him coming out of college. Like I said, he's a pass catching guy. Not because I actually picked him up. I'm in a similar situation as you, and I picked up Ray Davis. Well, he was the only option technically, but like. If I was stuck in this situation, I would go with Ray Davis because of the talent, because he's going to get first and second down opportunities, and because he also has the opportunity to catch the ball. Ty Johnson is going to catch the ball, but we don't know what that full role is going to be. But we could be completely wrong, and it's Ty Johnson the whole way, and Ray Davis is just,
yeah,
or I just don't know.
Yeah. Man, I mean, look, I would roll with Ray, but I'm hoping that there's some report that comes out soon where, they're like, Jordan Mason is expected to be the starter tonight. That came out with the CMC news in week 1. It'd be great if they could give us some report like that, but
yeah,
right now you're kind of throwing darts in the dark. So anyway,
yeah,
I would go Ray. I just think he's the better first and second down back. They've both had work. They've both had, chances in this offense. It's not like Ray Davis has been inactive up until this point, and you're just throwing, a guess out there.
Yeah.
Tear Up with a donation here. Appreciate you, man. Says, is Tracy a solid starter for flex position now? Other options I have are JMO and JSN. Also, thoughts on Hawkinson being top tier when he returns. Let's start with the first one. Is Tracy a solid league starter for flex? We can't say. I mean, look, there's a chance that he overtakes Devin Singletary, but if this was like a 1-year contract for Devin, I think yes. But you guys signed him to a 3-year deal, so I think there's a great chance this becomes a Bucky Rachaad White situation, which will suck.
And that is what's going to happen. What is impressive with Tracy is that in the past 2 games, he's picking up blitzes. He's understanding what to do, his job. He's a great pass protector. Obviously, he can catch and run the ball. I think when Devin does come back, it is going to be that split backfield, but then I can see that changing. I can see his role just being more of like an 80-20. Think about, I'm not saying this is going to happen, but I can see that happening if he continues. Think about like what Eric Gray did on Sunday night. We probably saw him 6-7 times. That's crazy to think that Devin Singletary is going to be like that. But but I think it's a team-friendly deal that Devin Singletary got. So I'm not really concerned when he comes down to the contract. And I think they'll be happy to move on from him in a play staying standpoint easily.
He's just like a decent running back on a good contract, so I think he's going to be around. But
Tracy has a high upside. He's more explosive.
Yeah, Tracy can become the starter, but it's not a guarantee. And I think the most likely outcome is that they rotate both of them, which makes it hell for fantasy football. Because the only reason you wanted to play one of these names is because of volume. And if that volume is taken away, that no longer becomes very attractive, right? But as far as Hawkinson goes, I mean, look, it's not as difficult for a tight end to come back from a ACL than it is, let's say, a running back or a wide receiver from day one. I mean, they're not laterally doing as much movement. So I definitely think Hawkinson can be a top option when he returns in a good offense that's firing on all cylinders, you know?
Yeah, I agree. It's crazy that Hawkinson is on that offense and he's just waiting in the wings right now.
Yeah.
But I personally would start JSN over Tracy. And I don't think Jamo really did anything because he really wasn't needed.
Well, yeah, no, he was great. He scored a touchdown, almost had 2. Did you watch that game yet?
I did, but it wasn't the targets that I know you were talking about.
He didn't get the targets, but he almost had 2 touchdowns, and he had 4 targets in a game where they didn't need to throw the ball at all. So that's encouraging.
I guess I guess it is encouraging.
I mean, if you look, it's pretty much Jameson outscoring Jackson every week except for week 2. It's close, but
Anyway, I think get it. Jackson just always has the tougher matchups to where, like, okay, you look at the Seahawks game so far, and you're like, okay, they're going to need to throw the ball.
Yeah.
They're going to need to score. And it hasn't been like that at all.
Well, JSN is a safer floor, and Jameson's a higher upside in pretty much every matchup.
Yeah. All right. Manny, thank you so much for
K3 said the coin said tie. So apparently K3 flipped a coin here.
Oh, boy. Last time you flipped a coin.
Yeah.
Last time you flipped a coin, it didn't work out.
Yeah, last time someone flipped a coin. Was it K3 who flipped the coin? And I think
it was K3.
Yeah.
It was K3 who flipped the coin and started James Cook. And didn't work out. So maybe flipping the coin is not the best thing right now.
No, in the coin we trust. All right? In the coin we trust. It was Proofy. But
oh, well, it's Proofy. Okay, well, shit, never mind.
Hey,
it's all wrong today.
If you live by the coin, you die by the coin. Good luck, K3. Manny says, I'm 3-2. Start flex Jacobs or Bigsby and flex Bigsby, Ladd, Tutu, Otton. I also have Judy, but feel like I should drop him for a waiver wire pickup. I'm 3-2. Start flex Jacobs or Bigsby and flex Bigsby, Ladd, Tutu, Otton.
This would be Jacobs for sure. And then for me, if Ladd is healthy, I would go Ladd McConkey.
Yeah, who are they playing? Chargers play.
They play the Cardinals next week.
Cardinals? That could be a fun game.
It looked like, the Chargers were going to come out and just dominate in the air. I don't know. I was watching that game in the first half, and they were just
cool.
They were moving the ball with Ladd and Quinton, and they both get hurt. And I was like, oh my gosh. Like, that first drive was just guns blazing.
I know, right?
And I was getting excited for QJ. And Ladd, to be fair.
Yeah, QJ wasn't really as involved. And in fact, his role has been completely diminished with Josh Palmer coming back. Thought maybe with some good play, he would have earned a higher role, but with Palmer healthy, he still seems like an irrelevant name. I'd drop QJ personally if I had him. But the question here is flex Jacobs or Bigsby. If Josh Jacobs is your option, you play Josh Jacobs.
Agreed.
We would love to say Bigsby, but clearly it's difficult to trust that running back room right now. And then the flex, I would agree. I would go Ladd McConkey there. And I wouldn't be afraid to drop Judy to the waiver wire at this point.
No. Thank you.
You
Thank
know,
you for
like
your service.
if a Downs is out there, a Pop Douglas, I would rather have those names.
I mean,
What's up,
honestly,
Tez?
even lower.
Yeah, fair. Longtime supporter, always donating, and asks a question here, which we get often. Like, would you consider answering the unpaid questions at the beginning of the stream? Look, we hope that we never come off this way where you have to donate. It's just the reality of our channel growing, right? I mean, you guys appreciate our content. You know, you appreciate our input, and we can't always, you know, guarantee that there will be streams where we don't have donations. Anytime there aren't donations, we do. It's not like when the donations stop, we're like, all right, we're not going to answer anymore. All right, yeah. You know, but just like for us, at least the way it feels for us is if there are people out there who do want to donate, right, their hard-earned money to hear our opinion, it just feels wrong for us not to prioritize those people, right? Not that they're better than anybody else, but they are actively supporting our channel with like a tangible way, right? They're actively saying, I value your opinion. Please let me know what you think. So, you know, I can definitely understand where you're coming from there. We always do our best to answer as many questions as we can. I mean, even on today's stream, right, we went up there and answered some of the normal questions, and it doesn't look like there's many super chats after this. We'll try and get to them as well, but just the nature of what we do, if we start to answer the normal questions, there are streams, genuinely. I mean, you guys, if you've been with us for the past like couple weeks or months, there will be streams where we can't keep up with the paid donations. And unfortunately, we can't stream for 5-6 hours a night. I know Mason's doing that, but we just have, you know, other areas in our lives that we have to give attention to. But yeah, we appreciate you. We appreciate all the donations. We appreciate everybody being here, all the love, all the support. But that's just kind of the way that we feel. Hopefully that makes sense. The next donation is from Davion, who says, is Chase Brown as a good flex play going forward? So here's the tough thing with Chase Brown, right? So Chase Brown, the trends were that he was starting to take over this backfield, and that was really, really good to see. And in week 5, he led this team in touches, and then Moss goes down with an injury. He is limited throughout most of the week, and we don't know whether this is a changing of the guard or a limitation on Zach Moss's usage due to the injury that he has dealt with, right? So for me, I do think obviously you prefer Chase Brown rest of season. He has a very high upside, but I don't think you can victory lap right now Chase Brown being the guy when we all know Zach Moss was dealing with an injury anyway. But certainly looks like Chase Brown is a flexible name.
Yeah, I've always been on the side of Chase Brown, I guess, you know, taking over this backfield in the second half of the season. And to be fair, specifically for this game last night that we saw, he got lucky because he wouldn't have scored that touchdown. It was a dead time touchdown, so his upside wouldn't have looked as appealing to what it does now.
Yeah,
with
that
14 points.
9 points as well that he scored on that one play.
So like
he
that
would have finished with like 4 points.
It would have been really. You probably wouldn't be feeling confident coming into this week, being okay. Should I start Chase Brown? But I will say that he did get more touches. If I'm not mistaken, Zach Moss fumbled and also Chase Brown Zach Moss fumbled and Chase Brown fumbled. But we just didn't recover. Chase Brown didn't recover, or fumbles wasn't recovered by the Giants. I do believe we're seeing the passing of the torch a little bit. I think you can see Chase Brown is a lot more explosive. He can catch the ball, and especially when he's going in between the tackles. But I think Zach Moss is still going to have a role. It just depends on what's that going to look like. Ray Davis getting the handoff practice here with Josh Allen. Actually, no, that was Ty Johnson. That's a lie. That was Ty Johnson. I apologize.
Oh, that is cinema right there. Yeah. So signs are
Ray Davis
are
coming in now and they're doing the same thing. Sorry, continue.
Signs are good for Chase Brown, but remember they go up against Cleveland next week. Cleveland just shut down Saquon Barkley.
Oh my goodness.
Was probably Saquon's worst game in years.
I was so confused on how the Eagles came out and played. So confused. I was watching that game as well, and I was like, what is going on? That defense, we were throwing the ball, running them all over Cleveland, and you telling me you can't do that? Something's happening in the water over there. I don't know.
Cleveland. I mean, Cleveland's a good defense. They were underperforming. You know what I mean? So maybe they kind of found their stride as well. All right, guys. No more donations for now. If you want to prioritize your question, you can donate. There's no pressure. But what we'll do until there's another donation or until the top of the hour is we'll kind of just find questions as we go and try and answer them. The reality is if we go to the top, most of those people probably aren't even here. So they've probably left the stream by now. They asked a question 40 minutes ago. But I wanted to address... where is it? I want to address... Where's the question about the Dynasty channel?
When
Someone
the Dynasty
asked about
channel
the Dynasty question.
I didn't know what you're talking about. I guess it depends on which one you were reading. There was talking
Someone
about
said
where...
when are the Dynasty videos coming out? From Lindell.
Yeah.
Those are already starting, man. We actually started posting last week. So if you guys don't know, we do have a Dynasty channel. If you're out here and you play Dynasty football, I'll spam that link in the chat. But you can see here, Dynasty Land Football. This is a channel that dominates our time and efforts in the offseason. And it will start to pick up. 5 days ago, we released updated wide receiver rankings. But throughout the offseason, we do one quarterback rookie mock drafts, super flex rookie mock drafts, rookie rankings, sell highs, buy lows, buy, sell, holds, taxi targets in draft season, draft strategies. I mean... everything and more, really, like buy low targets, update after free agencies, players that you can cut, running backs to target. It's really takes up all our time and energy in the offseason. So if you have a dynasty team and
oh no,
what?
Bills running back Ty Johnson got the first team reps and warm-ups with the first team offense. Frank Gore after that.
All right, that's enough for me to say go pick up Ty Johnson. I mean, look. So, if you don't know the Dynasty channel, go check it out. Look, if
who's this
you have the
reporting?
option to pick up Ty Johnson, that's enough for me to be concerned. We're literally all guessing at this point, okay? So, who is this person? Elena.
Yeah, Elena. She's a Buffalo
Bills
Beef reporter
for ESPN. Yeah, I mean, that seems pretty reliable.
God damn it, Elena. That don't mean nothing. First reps. In another chat, they said it was announced Ray Davis RB1 tonight. Thrill shot. Don't get my hopes up.
Who said that thrill shot?
Yeah, I want to know who said that. I'm just going through Twitter right now.
This is gonna be chaos all the way up until kickoff.
I'm gonna tell Nathan if we should watch the game just for content. Someone in the FSC chat. All right.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought you were saying like some reliable reporter or something. We need more from Elena. Expand, please.
Well, that's what I was saying. I said that. Remember, I'm watching the warm up right now. 13 minutes of the countdown to kickoff, and what I saw was Josh Allen practicing, taking like practice reps, and it was Ty Johnson, and then Ray Davis came in. But maybe I didn't see Frank Gore, or maybe he didn't jump in because it was cutting in and out.
Gosh, man, I mean, and now there's this picture of Frank Gore giving his son a hug on the field. They just elevated Frank Gore Jr. Imagine
there's no way
Gore
Frank
Jr.
Gore starting over an undrafted guy, if I'm not mistaken. And you telling me Ray Davis is not ready?
Yeah, I mean, he's already like 25 years old. Okay, well, the reality is nobody freaking knows. But if I had an opportunity, I'd probably roll with Ty Johnson after seeing that. I mean, what else are you supposed to rely on? This is a Bills beat reporter. I don't have much information for you guys at this point. But if a Bills beat reporter is telling you Ty Johnson's going to get the first reps, I mean, that's who I would choose. I mean, it's It's probably going to be Josh Allen, let's be honest. But anyway, that's not a great answer, but it is a answer, and hopefully that's okay. But we did have a question that was just submitted through the site, so let's have a look at that. Riley the God. This is a super message, and they said, you have to start 2 tonight. Who are you choosing between Braylon Allen, Lazard, or Ty Johnson? Wow.
One for me is 100% Lazard.
Really? Okay.
I feel really confident in Lazard. I think what we've been seeing for the past couple of weeks, I think he's a part of this offense. It's hard to say, actually, because of the coaching change or the play calling change. So that might be a problem. But I'm just going to ride with the numbers that I've seen the past 3 weeks.
Yeah. I'll go Allen Lazard and Ty Johnson here. By the way, we just saw another report from Mike Garafolo, who is great in the space, NFL Network. You guys probably know this face. And he said he just spoke to Frank Gore, and he said he's excited for his son's first game, but nervous, more nervous than when he played. So that, to me, tells me the team told Frank Gore he's going to be in the game plan. Does that mean he gets one touch, or does that mean
exactly.
that he's an important part of the offense? We'll have to wait and see. But based off that information, I'm probably going to be playing Ty Johnson and Allen Lazard here.
Gosh, this is terrible. This is terrible. Come on, sweet. I just need like a screen pass to Ray Davis. That's all I need.
So your answer is Allen Lazard and who else?
Ty Johnson. I was with you there.
Okay.
I agreed with you. Yeah.
All right. Throw Shot says Underdog has more yards for Ray Davis. Oh, okay. Okay.
There's literally nothing to back this up whatsoever.
There's nothing to back up anyone's opinion right now.
I feel like the most... Yeah. I was gonna say, I don't really know if there's anyone that's has credibility. Yeah, like just because Ty Johnson and then Frank Gore was taking snap doesn't mean that they were gonna be those guys, but doesn't mean that the same thing with Underdog. Doesn't mean Rain Davis is projected with the more yards doesn't mean anything. No, it's just
we're all.
I need some concrete somebody to report Ray Davis is going to be the starter.
I don't think that's gonna happen. I just don't think that's going to happen, but it could. All right. So, look, here's the unfortunate reality of YouTube. YouTube won't let us actually go to the very top of the chat. They limit how far up we can go. I mean, you guys probably will notice that as well. Try and go up in the YouTube chat. You probably can't go to the beginning, right? Let's start to answer these questions at random. Let's start with Marlon. Says, would you guys trade Saquon, Ayuk, and Bucky for Jahmyr Gibbs and Godwin?
Saquon and Ayuk and Bucky for Jahmyr Gibbs and Godwin.
And Godwin by a pretty significant margin for me.
Yeah, I want Gibbs and Godwin.
Ty Johnson second on the depth chart. That's true, Jay Willie. Style says, this reminded me of week 1 in 2022 when Darrell Henderson got the first carry over Cam Akers. Oh my gosh, imagine.
Dude. Who's first on the depth chart?
James Cook.
Obviously James Cook, but like who's second? He's saying Ty Johnson is second on the depth chart. Sorry, okay, I was a little bit confused there.
Connor says going with Davis and going to limit the results.
I just looked it up. Our lads. Buffalo depth chart. Cook is out. He's in red. Ray Davis is next, then Ty Johnson, then Frank Gore. Is that reliable? Probably not. But I'm trying to talk myself up here.
I mean, yeah, I don't really
Let's
know.
Go to ESPN. ESPN, James Cook out, Ty Johnson is second, and then Ray Davis is third on ESPN.
I just don't, I wish I understood like the Frank Gore situation. That's what is concerning to me, because did they elevate Frank Gore just because they needed another name and he's not going to really see any snaps, or did they tell him something and now his dad's excited, you know? So, man, all this tells me is MVS is going to have an incredible game. I know, right? But I would choose Ray Davis at this point. Personally. Or sorry, I meant to say Ty Johnson. I would choose Ty Johnson at this point if I had to choose one of these names. All right, let's start answering some of these questions just at random, honestly. Of course, you can donate if you want your question prioritized. Otherwise, we're just going to pick them at random. And the next one I can see is from Cool. It says, trade Love for Devonta Smith. I'd probably prefer Devonta Smith and just stream the quarterback position.
Yeah, it just depends on what that is. If this is one quarterback and who's available at the quarterback position. If this is like a 10-man league and somebody wants Jordan Love, sure, maybe Baker Mayfield's available, maybe Jared Goff's available. I would do that. Maybe in a 12-man league, I'm a little bit more hesitant, just really depending on who's available there. But
right now in our 12-man league, you could pick up Justin Fields, Jones, Dalton, Levis, Nix, May.
I just don't feel comfortable with those. I just don't feel comfortable with those quarterbacks, but I understand. I feel like there's more consistency and higher upside with Jordan Love on a week-to-week basis than Devonta Smith. But like, I don't think if he's in a 10-man league and Baker Mayfield's available, sure, let's do it. If he's in a 10-man league and Jared Goff's available, sure, let's do it.
All right.
It's just really hard.
To me, this is Devonta Smith 100%. You can't find a name like that on the waiver wire. You can't replace that in your lineup on the waiver wire. I think you can replace quarterback, and there's a lot of names on a week-to-week basis that I think you could stream. I mean, you could go pick up Drake May. We saw his rushing floor. He plays Jacksonville this week. I would actually feel comfortable starting Drake May versus Jacksonville this week. So I just think if we were to redo a fantasy draft, Devonta Smith's probably a third-round pick. I think Jordan Love's still around the 6th round. I just feel like there's way more value with the wide receiver there. What's up, Maddie? Welcome in. Zach said, did this Cook injury screw anyone in the Flock League? Yes, we talked about that earlier in the stream. Badaki had James Cook. He needs 4 points, 5 points. And he picked up Ray Davis, the person he's facing, picked up Ty Johnson, and now we'll have to see where it lands.
Yeah.
Emmanuel
the
says...
other person's not starting Ty Johnson. He just picked him up to block me.
Yeah.
So.
Which I would have done too. Have a great night. Emmanuel says, y'all help me get to 5-1 and looking to win this year. Appreciate you, man.
No worries, man.
Jordan Mason for Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon easily is the answer here.
Agreed.
Let's see. Marlon Mack, first-time scorer. Imagine. Oh, my gosh. That would be absolutely insane. Trade Dobbins or Hunt? Trade for Dobbins or Hunt. I mean, whoever is a cheaper option. How do you feel about Dobbins now after this week?
Yeah, I mean, interesting game. 25 opportunities. I think they kind of resulted to running the ball because they kind of lost some of their key guys, even though Josh Palmer did step up a little bit. But yeah, like Kamani Vidal also came into the game and had some. Well, he really just had the pass, and that's really what solidified his fantasy week. But can't really argue against J.K. Dobbins at the moment, especially against that Denver team. So
he's a top 20 running back for me rest of season, and he should be valued as so, in my opinion.
I just want to see more consistency. I mean, yeah, we saw the 2 games, and then we saw the 2 other games. So like, if that can happen a little bit better, sure. Like, I would agree with you.
I mean, my counter would be the consistency has been there because what you're looking for is touches. You can't always guarantee performance, but since week 2, he's been dominating touches 18, 18, 18, 27.
I'm not disagreeing with the touches. I think we can't guarantee fantasy points, but if somebody's willing to trade me J.K. Dobbins or wanting J.K. Dobbins because of those opportunities and they can guarantee me fantasy points, sure. And I feel like I feel like Kareem Hunt, because he's on the better offense, I'm not saying that's going to happen. It's not guaranteed. No one can guarantee fantasy points. I just feel like his upside is higher with the fantasy points in those offenses, or in that offense, excuse me.
All right, next question from Amadeus says, I traded Fields, Wan'Dale, and Juju for Kyler Murray. I think I messed up. Yeah, probably. I mean, you should never trade that much for a quarterback. I mean, that's my honest opinion. Sorry. Be
Yeah,
live till
I
the top
agree.
of the hour. 2 more minutes here. Bub Means or Devon Vele? I mean, you're really diving deep here. But probably Devon Vele. Good to see him getting more and more opportunities. And, 6 targets, 62% of the snaps this week. That's a career high in snap percentage. But I honestly hate Sean Payton. Sean Payton in New Orleans was so great for fantasy football. In Denver, it's so disgusting it hurts. Devon Vele comes out week 1, 8 targets as a rookie. And then gets injured but is ready to go week 3 and is a healthy inactive scratch for 3 straight weeks. And then plays 62% of the snaps this week. Is that because of Josh Reynolds? Sure. Troy Franklin getting opportunities, but not enough consistently to really show what he can do. It's just... I kind of hate what Sean Payton's doing in Denver.
Yeah, I want Bailey as well. I feel like Bud Means is just going to take the step back once Rashid Shaheed and Olave come back. But maybe Shaheed, apparently reports Shaheed's injury could be quite concerning. So maybe he's the next man up here. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe the answer is Bub Memes, honestly, if that is a serious injury for Shaheed.
Shaheed, yeah, because we saw Spencer really, favor him. But at the same time, how long is Spencer going to play?
Yeah.
Does Spencer really beat Derek Carr? But I think if he would have won last week, I'd be like, holy shit, like Spencer Rattler, like, can easily take this job. But he has 2 tough matchups against Denver and then the Chargers. So that's going to be tough for him.
All right, this might be the last question on the stream today. Safe and Sound says PPR St. Brown, Flowers, and Flex Mooney or Addison this week. I really like Addison this week versus Detroit. Should be a very exciting matchup, and clearly Detroit's going to be an even worse defense without Aiden Hutchinson. They will force less pressures, and their secondary will get smoked even more. I like Addison. Just like that game, want to be a part of it. Love Mooney as well, but I prefer to be a part of the Lions-Vikings game in Minnesota.
Yeah, I'm happy with either or. I don't really know where my rankings stand right now, but I would lean Mooney because of the matchup as well. Very similar to what Zach's saying. I want part of that Seahawks-Falcons game playing at home as well. Seahawks lost, 2 straight right now? And I'm going to take the hot hand over there with Kirk, but there's a hot hand with Sam Darnold as well. So pick your poison.
So, as far as anybody who is relying on a Bills running back tonight, good luck. What's the answer? No idea. If anyone's telling you they know the answer, they're lying to your face and hoping they're right.
Ray Davis.
Based off the current information, looks like Ty Johnson is actually the best play. But do whatever you can. All right? Do whatever you can. Good luck tonight. We'll see you guys soon. All up.